Hello, welcome to all. This is Dr. Mohankumar from Department of English, MITS, Madanapalli. The topic of my presentation is Reading a Magical Key. The flow of my presentation is Reading, Myth or Magic, Reading and Communication Skill, Benefits of Reading, Newspaper Reading, Conclusion and References. The first question immediately comes to our mind: read to develop your communication skill. To improve your communication skill, read something, it helps you to improve your communication skill. If you give this statement, automatically the students used to get into their mind, is it a myth or a magic? Because from for long period the language teachers and the trainers, they used to recommend the students to read the newspaper or any text. At one stage, especially in the recent time, the students thought that everything is advanced, everything turned digital. Still these people are recommending suggest to read. So is it a myth? For long period these people are following? Definitely the answer is no. Reading is not a myth, it's a proven research. If you read more, automatically your communication skills, your vocabulary, everything used to get developed. So it is not a myth, it's a proven research. And then why I include the word magic here? Magic is not something which we can't understand at all the time. Yes, a kid, when we see the magic, when we used to see the magic, we used to get astonished. We admire how the things are work. But after a certain stage, we come to understand the logic behind that scene. So it is very simple. If you learn that art, if you know how to convince the people, whoever sees it is real, then automatically you can master that art. Like that the magic works. So if you choose the reading as a magic, definitely it will help you to develop your communication skill. So it is an automatic thing, so don't worry. Reading or suggesting reading is not a myth, it is a kind of scientific study. So what is the connection between reading and communication? Here I want to highlight the word of Karan Vidmega. He first give the instruction to read. Automatically we get the doubt what to read. He give the simple advice and the tips. Everything you can get your hands on. Try to read that. Until when? The next statement give the answer for that. Read until word become your friends. Then when you need to find one, they will jump into your mind, waving their hands for you to pick them, and you can select whichever you like, just like a captain choosing a stickball team. In our day-to-day example, we can get a wonderful thing to understand this concept. When you are in situation of emergency, when you are run out of the petrol or in any need of emergency for fund, we are not going to call all the 250 contacts from our mobile. Though we have lot of numbers in our contact list, we select only 5 or 6 members particularly. We know that definitely this person is going to help. Who is that apt person to help for that particular situation? Like that we select. In the same way, when you are in the situation to describe or explain something, the automatically the words comes to your mind and it waves their hands to pick it up. Otherwise, while we are communicating, while we are discussing, we used to search for the words. Sometimes the people in the opposite end, they might mistaken that we are not good in the communication skill or our language skill is not up to the mark. But you can avoid this problem by reading. And here they given the example like a captain choosing a stickball team. 10 or 15 years back, when you ask the Indian cricket fans especially, can you give your dream cricket team? Hardly they may given only 20 international players who may be retired also. But now, after the IPL come into the dominant role, even Indian cricket team, they have three major teams to play with international level. So fans also they give alternative names for the wicketkeeper, bowler, or any level, any down you can ask. Who is suitable for the fourth down? The fans itself giving 3 or 4 alternative names. It's only by the practice when you are exploring more. Nowadays the fans are exploring more related to the cricket, so they can forgive the names like that. Same thing applicable to the words also. If you read a lot, if you explore more, automatically the words comes to your mind, no need to search for some other things. So it improves your communication drastically. Next one, what are the benefits of reading? Okay, reading is fine, but what are the benefits we are going to get? The first two things is very important. Workout for a brain, and it keeps your brain young. Especially in modern days, you could find the disease like Alzheimer, that amnesia, memory loss, so many things. But if you keep on reading, it keeps your brain young. There are research, it shows that the people who are learning the new languages, their brain is always young. Here they given the data that the more you read, the better your brain works according to the answer. So it is kind of workout for your brain. If you read more, it keeps your brain young. And reading books improve the memory and verbal fluency regardless of age. You no need to worry about the age. I'm in the 40 or I'm in just 16-year-old. Don't worry about anything. If you keep reading the books, it improve your memory and verbal fluency. It is very important. And when it comes to the vocabulary, 5 to 15 percentage of the words learned through reading. Other thing, maybe at the beginning it's through listening or writing in textbook you can get, but 5 to 15 percentage of our day-to-day communication words, it comes only from the reading. So it boosts your vocabulary and you come to know about new words. That is very, very important. Next one, great motivator. In any personal life, you could find reading is your best companion also. When we are in the problems, few things we can't share with our friends or parents. Sometimes we keep everything with ourselves. At the time we don't know how to get into that conclusion, we don't know how to find the way. At the time you can select reading as an only a pathway to find the solution. It acts as a great motivator. From my personal life I can suggest, and I what I'm following is, whenever I feel low, whenever I am oscillate to take the decision in my life, I used to read the writings of Khalil Gibran or the poems of John Keats. In Tamil literature we have Kannadasan and Bharadiyar. These are the four favorite writers of mine, and I used to read their writing and get some idea to the life. So, without any external support, your reading helps you to motivate yourself. So, you can become very strong even in the internal level. And then it builds community. Community in the sense you could find the people with same interest. Though I have lot of friends in my close circle, I used to keep the friends who are all having the reading habits. Maybe their genres and their interests are different. I can, in our college also I can name few students. When it comes to the certain conditions and the genres, I used to think about that student. We used to share the books, we used to share our ideas related to that book. So it is very important in develop your bonding. Your relationship also gets strong. When you are reading, you could find your own community. Next one, learn new things. Yes, of course, in this era, we want to become a specialized in one field, but it is not at all always recommendable. We should learn about the other things. The best example is mine. Though I am from the language background and the literature side, I may not strong enough in the technical side. But the recently, when my students come with an idea related to the hackathon and all, they forced me to read something relevant to the software development and the app development. I'm learning something new. It helps me to get the advantage also. So in your personal life and in the professional life, when you learn something new, it is an always an advantage. So these are the few benefits after the reading. This is the data related to the reading habit. You could find India is in the top level. Averagely, Indians spend 10 more than 10 hours in reading. But we used to think USA is an hub of intellectual people. But looking at the data, it is very pathetic. It is only around 6 hours. There is a vast difference between India and USA. Kindly don't confuse the intellectual and reading. Reading is something, it helps you to develop in emotional level also. It's not always about the academic or learning the new things. How it shapes you as an individual is also the role of an reading. So here India in the dominant. I hope we are also develop a reading habit and keep this data and the India in the top always. So next one, newspaper reading. It is the digital era, as I discussed in the beginning. Even though we are updated, everything turned digitally. Still the newspaper have that importance. Yes or no, it is yes. Here there is a quote that yes, despite the digital revolution, newspapers continue to be a cornerstone of journalism, offering a depth and perspective often missing in a rapid fire world of online news. Nowadays, how we are getting that news and information is really weird. We are not searching for any news. Automatically, the pop up message comes into our mobile and a laptop. We click out of interesting to know what it is, but the information or the news is only going for 1 4 to 5 lines, that's it. Remaining you could find the advertisement. So we are just getting the basic idea about that news. There is no in-depth knowledge, there is no space. The one condition you could see, even the top news journals, even the journalists come with like an 1 minute shots or reels to share the information. It is maybe trendy, but at one stage it is a threat to the human being. We may forget how to think, how to analyze the thing in depth. It is very, very important. We should not believe, we should not take everything from other end. What we are thinking, how we are going to take the thing, that is an important. So if you are reading the newspaper, it will give you the in-depth thing instead of getting the only the basic idea. And one more point, it's very important one. Newspaper reading bridges the gap between bygone eras and the contemporary world. For example, if I ask my students to discuss about the war, immediately they talk about the Russia and Ukraine war or Israel and Palestine. But what is the background behind that war? Is there anything relevant from the history where it started? When we ask these kind of questions, they might feel very boring or in depth. They are not ready to participate in that particular discussion, but they are ready to give the ideas whatever in the present, but it is not going to be useful because we need to find the solution. Anyone can come to know about that problem, but who is going to give that solution? That matters. So you should know how to connect the past, present, and the future. You have to think as a leader, as a visionary people. You should know what is going to happen in the future. Then only it is useful for the society also. So keep reading; it improves your thinking skill also. And one more question we used to get: how to read a newspaper article to improve our English? We never recommend or we never believe that an individual can read from page 1 to page 25. It is there are some interesting section for us. Maybe I find economical news or political news as an important to me. Some people may find a sports news or cinema news. Anything would be fine at the beginning stage. You start looking for your interesting section and try to read that. And next one is regular practice. In the current Widmeyer, we say that the word should become like your friend. So for that, you need the regular practice. Maybe 30 minutes or 50 minutes, make it as a regular practice. It's not only for a week or a month process. It is a lifelong process for improving our language and communication skills. So practice it regularly. And third point, very, very important, change periodically. Why it is important to change the style of reading also. Here, the style of reading means the newspaper. For example, personally, I love to read the language and the style of Hindu newspaper. But maybe in a week or in the month, I used to read the alternative newspapers, some other newspapers like Times of India, Indian Express, or Deccan Chronicle, the same news article. How they are conveying, how their language style differs, what kind of word they are using, what is the difference between the things language style between the Hindu and other newspaper. Like that, you should compare. Automatically, if you read different newspaper, different style, your writing style also gets the change. Some students used to write only in a simple sentence. Some students go with compound and complex. So when it comes to the competitive exam and all, you should show the variety in your writing. So if you are sticking to the one newspaper, it is not possible. Try to go with different newspapers, change periodically, maybe 3 months once or 2 months once, just to read some other article. Doesn't mean you have to change the newspaper from day one to day two. It is not possible. It is not advisable also. So periodically you can check the style. Discuss with others. It is important to develop your communication skill, especially in speaking. If you are reading on news article, try to share with your friends or whoever interested in this kind of topic. When it comes to the AI information, I used to share with my students who are interested in that. Even though I may not have a depth knowledge in that, I used to get information from them. So you try to discuss with others. Some students, they may not good in speaking or discussing with others. At the time, you can write your view and perspective about that article and share in your social media page or with other friends. Even with your professors, they may come out with a good idea and understanding. So it may develop for further research also. So either in a writing format or in a speaking format, try to discuss with others. Understand the context. Main important thing, previous slide we discussed, it should not be only the basic idea. You have to know the depth, why it started, everything. It improves your cognitive skill. So understand the context, it is very very important. Next one is read it in the mind. There is a method of loud reading which is suggested for to improve your pronunciation and all, but when it comes to improve your English, at the beginning you should read it in the mind. It improves the fast also. If you are going for loud reading at the beginning, you may concentrate on your pronunciation, the difficult word you don't know how to manage. Everything in the beginning, it is a psychologically barrier. So don't go for loud reading at the beginning, read it in your mind. These are the ways to read the newspaper to improve your English. Next one, what are the benefits of reading newspaper? First one, it improved language skills. Very, very important about vocabulary expansion, enhanced reading comprehension. In competitive exams, whenever we are conducting an interview or anything related to reading comprehension, student finding the problem there because they don't know how to cover up this thing, maybe two or three paragraphs in a 5 minutes time. They don't know how to give the answer. Reading comprehension doesn't mean you can simply write the line, extract from the paragraph. You have to analyze. Comprehension means analyzing the context. So you should analyze the news article and you have to give your answer. That is an why plays a vital role in your competitive exams also. Vocabulary expansion. When you are speaking, when you are writing, if you are repeating the same word, it is not an appreciable one. So try to find a different word according to the situation. So vocabulary expansion. Next one, cognitive stimulation, mental exercise and brain engagement. It helps you to visualize more. Next one is critical thinking development. Why visualization is important? If you read a novel or short story, you could find 2 or 3 pages will go to describe about one room, the setting of one room. In some of the short story, you could find the description of pen going for 2 paragraphs. So it gives you the thing to visualize where you could find the relevant in the competitive exam. In some certified exams as international level exams, they ask the simple question, describe about your village, describe about your college. The students get failed in that question because they doesn't know how to visualize the thing. So reading help you to develop your visualization skills also. Next one, critical thinking development, we discussed in the previous slide. Current affair awareness, in-depth coverage of local, national, and international news, understanding complex global issues. When it comes to GD, if I give the topic like poverty, unemployment, the student ready to discuss more in the surface level. But if I little bit refine that topic, like economical issues in a country, GDP growth, recession, that they get stuck. But without knowing this term, I it is very astonishing to see how they are discussing the topic like poverty, unemployment. It is not always about blaming the politicians or the government system or the education system. We should know how to deal the things. What are the reason behind that problem? International level. What is the relation between the company which is available, which is located in America, and the student who are studying in India? So the decision by American company, directly affect the life of an Indian student? What is the connection between that? Like that, if you want to know, you have to read more. It's about the local and international news and understanding the complex global issues. It is not about the individual state or the country anymore. We are in the same, we call it as a global village, entire world. So we should understand in the global perspective how to communicate, how to analyze the thing. Even certain words we should not use in the countries, different countries. It is a cultural term. So we should understand that global things. Next one is fostering community engagement. Local news, even coverage, building a sense of belonging. If you read the newspaper, it is easy for you to get mingle with other people, especially if you are traveling in a train or a bus. You could see our parents, the elder people, they used to easily gel with others by just sharing some information that is came in the headlines of that particular day newspaper. They immediately start discussing about the political news and the economics, everything they used to discuss. So it helps you to create then community and building a sense of belonging. Yes, we are belonging to the society. We should have that sense. If someone becomes a president of America or president of prime minister of the UK and all, if they have some route towards India, we are celebrating that particular person or that particular leader belongs to us. But most of the time, we forget that we are belonging to the society. What we are going to contribute for our country, or at least for our village. What are the problems faced by our village members? We are not aware. So the newspaper, the reading the newspaper will help you to understand the local problem also. What is the problem in a Madanapalli or in Angalu circle? Definitely you come to understand and you should take the step to sort out the problem. That is the sense of belonging. And these are the few references which help me to give some fact and idea related to this lecture. Before concluding, we always have that one saying, like think before you speak. Before speak to someone, you should know how to react. Everything we used to say. So thinking plays the vital role before you speak. But here Fran Lebowitz mentioned, before you think, you should read. Because if you read, it shapes your thinking process itself. How to think, what to think, what how to eliminate the negative thinking, how to develop your positive thinking, confidence, and everything will come automatically if you read. So reading leads to thinking, thinking leads to speaking. So if you are developing the habit of reading, you can change yourself as an admirable personality. It do some magic in your personal life and in your professional life. So to excel this world in all the sense, try to read more. So I want to conclude like this. Kindly develop your reading skill to make you as a wonderful human being, to create this wonderful society also. So thank you. In the following slides, in the following lecture, I wish to discuss about the reading in different genres like a drama, novel, poetry, and short stories like that. So further videos may be the continuation of this particular one. Apart from in this particular video, I concentrate on reading. So in further videos, different genres I will explore. So if you have any opinion and feedback about this concept or you want to discuss something more, feel free to contact me. Thank you all. Have a great day.